Alrighty, welcome to the Service Area Annual Budget Workshop. Today is Tuesday, August 18th. It is now 1:20 p.m. I am Alex Georgiadis, Service Area Director. Next to me is Service Area Administrator Delise Rodriguez. Beside her is Jacob Waddle, General Manager. Joining us online is Ray Febres, Finance Manager. Online also joining us from the committee, we have Sue Hoffman. And in person joining us from the committee is Kathy Faia. Thank you for joining. Anyone else online? And we have Lydia joining us. Thank you for joining, Lydia. You hear us okay? Good.
Yes.
Excellent. We don't have a quorum, so we'll get the meeting started as a discussion. High level, any input or questions on the budget as proposed?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Sue, do you have any questions first?
Yeah, I do. I don't understand why it's got to be, it's even higher than last 19.8 whatever increase. I mean, we're increasing every year. I'm not understanding what have we changed that we have to increase it. And I understand you want to get the, whatever that thing is.
Reserves,
Reserves.
yeah.
The reserve up, but I don't feel that because once you start raising these assessments, they don't go down. Rarely.
No,
And we
they don't
seem
go
to
down.
keep
It's bad.
raising.
Yeah, I mean, one large contributing factor is we have a line item in operating called reserve catch-up, and that line item is $48,000. That was an interfund item that was being held, so we put that in operating to try to pay that off next year. We could look at that item if you want. Is that an item you think we would break up the paying over multiple years? $48,000 interfund.
Which line is that?
It's that pink one there.
Okay.
Yeah. It basically, instead of on the reserve side overfunding, we put it in the operating side, just trying to catch up. That's where we are. And again, just high level, just so we understand where we are. Coming into this year, we had almost a $400,000 shortage on the reserves. So it's an uphill battle. We're trying to catch up on that. And then percentage wise, we should keep in mind, I don't want to say we have low dues, but they are in the $300 range. So it's a percentage on a
They're almost
smaller number.
400.
They're almost 400 now, correct? Yeah, 370
And
was
they're
our
projected to
baseline.
go over 400.
Correct, going up $73 proposed this round. So that's where we are now.
Oh, wait, but don't we have,
Go ahead.
isn't everybody, are we not collecting all of this dues?
The main problem lies on you are behind, you've been year after year behind on funding in your reserves. So your reserves, and every year that we're behind on that funding allotment, the gap is getting bigger rather than smaller. That's why you're seeing a 20% or nearly 20% increase.
That's on the overall budget.
Overall. Yeah, overall budget increase.
Because I have a less, I'm okay personally with the reserve catch-up,
The reserve,
but some of these other things, like
Yeah.
there's $16,000 things.
so the
Here's
reserve
another 7,800 increases.
catch up could be, yeah, you could reduce that and do only half. The recommendation would be then the difference be moved to the reserve allotment. So at this point, it's just saying wipe it out in 1 year instead of out of that. But I'll let Alex go line by line because it sounds like you have questions about the
Okay,
operating.
let's just go line by line.
There we go. Yeah, so our reserves now, we're at 331. Is that right, Ray? Just want to confirm, reserve, on hand at the end of July, 332?
No, it will be the 331 minus the 48,000. The 48,000 is what's
Oh, that's
owed
our
from
interest.
operating to reserve. Yeah. So it will be closer
Okay.
to 282,000. Yeah, 83,000. Correct.
So 280 is our current reserve balance. And just to give you an idea, next year we're allocated to start painting projects. It's a 3-year phasing, 27, 28, 29. So they have allocated 111,000 next year, in 2028, 115,000, and 2029, 118,000.
That's the expenditure there, just in case.
This is from the reserve study. So if we look, if you want to zoom in a little bit and then go to the right. The bottom row is painting, and you'll see these columns there, 27, 28, 29, 110, 114, 118. That's what we're looking at, that's coming up. So again, coming into this year, we able to do technically the painting project because we're at 280 now. We could probably do the second phase, but now third phase, at the moment, we don't have funding for it.
Well, we'll have a whole lot more people on board then too, by 2028,
Yeah, I mean,
2029. I mean, that's 2 full years away.
we'll have, it's not
Or is-
complete profit though. We're gonna have increased expenses as well, but I agree, we're gonna have a net increase in income.
And the painting absolutely has to be done because they did a hard job and they used the wrong paint.
I mean, that's
On
one discussion we
most
do
parts.
have is if we want to try to defer it maybe a year, that'll buy us some time in gaining more dues, maybe with with more residents contributing. Again, as a discussion item, we can consider.
How did they decide, like, is it, there are people in Island Village, obviously, that moved, like, we moved in before the people across the street.
Mhm.
How is that determined who gets done first?
We have phases here, so it might be related to, we have to see the mapping and how the phases actually are mapped out. It's
Right.
most likely related. to
My own
something.
information,
Yeah,
okay,
it's chronological, basically, in order of completion of the homes.
okay.
Okay,
So
again,
the first phase would be the white ones down the road.
Yes, the early ones,
for the
Right.
towards the school.
yeah, towards the school.
Yep.
And then our section area would be, I assume the second section or part of the first, and then across the street, because that was almost a whole year after we moved in.
Yeah.
But I have a question about the landscape
ahead.
improvements.
Mhm.
Why is it so much more, or is
So
it?
that's one item, we threw $1,000 more on that, just to try to catch up with sod and plant material.
It's not that we're not planting because we don't have good irrigation?
Correct, we started installing now, so we're seeing how that.
Yeah,
tests,
so
but
some
agreed,
of it.
until now, we've been on hold with that, agreed.
So you don't think that we'll have enough money? We can shave a little off of that?
Yeah, that's an option, if you wanna keep it flat, maybe, we're at 10.6 now, we put it up to 11.6, you wanna keep it flat at 10.6.
And so, yeah, I think we should be able to keep it flat, and so we do solve the irrigation problem.
Yeah, because I don't want to keep putting sod in
Then
every
stop.
year
not gonna
because
make it
of
the whole
the
year.
irrigation.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so that's a small, easy one.
Just putting it out there bluntly, any decreases or any savings you find in your operating, those savings will then be contributed to your reserve allotment. You're gonna be looking at
So
this.
if we don't use it, we can pop it into reserve, is what you're saying.
Well,
it'll be
I just wanted
there.
to, before we go into this budget exercise of maybe, shaving down the operating expense or budgets. Don't do it with a goal of what that bottom line for your
No,
increase is gonna
that's
be.
not what I
Okay,
was
so I
thinking
just,
of. Personally,
so-
that's not what I was thinking.
So this increase is a definite. It's not just, it's a given.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
yes, I mean, in our sense, yes, looking at over $400,000 deficit to your reserves. You're gonna be, if like, it's gonna be at a 20%, no matter what we do. Any additional savings we find in operating will go into that reserve allocation fund.
Or in the alternate, do we leave it at $1,000 additional, and if we don't use it, whatever's not in there will get shifted into reserve?
That can be assessed at the end of next year. You could also, I mean, there's the additional point that you have around looking at older numbers, but your operating funds around $26,000. Your monthly usage, you guys, typically you want to have 3 to 6 months of operating
Mhm.
expense inside your account. Right now, including the admin fee, you're at you utilize around $20,000 a month. So you have just over 1 month's worth of cash in the bank.
Okay.
So with that, it would be recommended that you make your operating lines conservative. So that way, if you don't utilize, like let's say it was the landscape, you don't utilize the landscape money, it builds your operating balance liquidity up. Because I know this is something that has been worked on diligently by Alex and Delise, because I remember, a year ago when we were looking at this, it was hovering right at monthly expense rate, so it's in a better spot than it was, which is great. It's, you know, the needle's not moved a ton, but it's at least moving in the right direction.
Okay. And whatever many units divided out by $1,000 is really a negligible amount.
As far as 1,000, I
What
mean,
reduction, what are you trying to,
Each section's portion of that 1,000 is relatively small.
95 cents, 94 cents.
So if I put
every
that
down
at
is
just
a
3,
0.5% of your
so
operating.
in this particular case, maybe, Sue, what do you think? Just leave it at $1,000 higher? If it's only less than
Yeah,
a dollar
I mean-
per household,
Yeah, you might as well.
okay, so we'll just
Again, if
leave
we don't
that.
use it, it'll cushion your operating,
Okay,
where
so
we
we'll
need a
just
little
leave
bit more
that one.
cushion. Okay.
Okay, what about this landscape nodding contract? That's $16,000,
Mm,
no, 1,600, excuse me. What additional do we need?
Oh, I thought that's the one we're talking about. It was 10.6, we went to 11.6. That's $1,000 increase. Is that the same line we're
Is
talking
that the
about?
one?
Yep.
Mhm. Oh, okay, so then pass on that, so that's
Good, good.
okay.
Trees is flat, 2,100, no increase.
Yeah, the irrigation repair is up by
That one we
2,000?
put up, because of the work we were doing. Same line.
Oh, this whole year or?
Yeah, we
But
just
this is for
projected,
next
we
year.
don't project on doing too much more in irrigation repairs. We think we're gonna do these, basically shifts in schedule and cutting the easements, for instance,
Seems
just
to be
reducing the
working.
number of heads, I think is a better implementation instead of throwing money at it. It seems to be more effective that way. So this money, if you want, could put it towards reserves, or again, keep it in operating and see if we'll need it somewhere else and just pad the operating account.
What do you say, Sue? How do you feel about that?
So it's going from 2,700 to
So are-
5,000.
Is the irrigation been completed?
Completed in the sense, we made some upgrades, but then we stopped on doing any further upgrades and we started doing schedule modifications and reducing number of heads per property, and we saw that was more effective. So we don't plan on
Increasing the
doing
number of
more
heads?
irrigation work. Decreasing, like in the easements, for instance, we'll cut off the side facing, the curb, exactly, on the street side. And then we'll leave the other ones running, so we'll get half of the heads running, but we'll get pretty much 85-90% coverage. So that seems to be working a lot better. So we reduce the pressure on a particular zone, of the load on the zone so that the pressure is, adequate for what's working. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay,
Because
let's say we
It's
had,
been the same, like they cut
like
down.
on an easement, we had 20 heads, we'll cut off half of them on one side, so we'll have 10 heads running to do essentially the same coverage. So we don't have to have enough pressure for 20 heads, we just have to operate for 10 heads, and that way it's been effective.
The pressure's
Even with
been
the lower
better.
pressure. The pressure is low coming in, but with fewer heads, we're able to operate the system properly.
Okay, as long as, I mean, because I'm just worried that we're gonna start seeing, because of the heat and everything, that it's just gonna die anyway.
Well, the way the sprinklers have been operating is exactly what, they've been that way for a couple of months now.
Few months, 6 months, I wanna say.
So like 6 months. So it really
Okay.
is status quo.
It seems to be doing
Yeah,
okay, we're not
basically,
seeing
it's
any
status
loss in
quo.
plant
It's not-
material or sun.
It hasn't gotten any
Not-
better, really.
Nor have they gotten any worse.
That was our gauge,
No,
it had
that-
gotten worse, and we haven't seen the loss that we saw last year, so we see it as an improvement overall.
That's
So you
good.
really feel the 2,000, if we don't use it, it'll go into operating.
Leave it operating, pad the operating, I would say it's a safer bet.
Okay.
Next item,
And B water, that's goes up negligibly.
Yep.
Don't change. General maintenance goes up 1,800.
that was a big one, I mean, those, we had 530, and now we're proposing, put it up to 2,000. That one was a flex sort of account, I could use it for, gutter repairs, if we have any soffit repairs.
But
those
isn't that included in
miscellaneous.
the gutters?
We have it, it's just,
duplicating.
we had a lot of them. Yeah, I prefer not to put it in the gutter specifically. I put some in the gutter, but then if it's gutter specific, then we can't use it for other items. Whereas a general repair, it allows me some flexibility to use it for miscellaneous effectively.
I get it, but
Okay.
then I think we need to monitor how much gutter repair we keep having to do. I mean, how much, what could possibly
They've been
be
done
happening
I mean,
to
we
the
call
gutter-
them
gutter-
repair. A lot of them, for instance, it's catch-up work. For instance, those splash guards, that was, that's an $1,800 job that's coming out.
Which I don't know why I got one. I gotta tell you honestly,
On your side.
we didn't need one on our side.
We'll look into that and see what it was, because the.
Like the spray seal that I told you, that one corner just needed some spray seal.
That one was done.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm happy. It doesn't, when it rains, we don't hear that lovely giant trip that wakes us
So a
up.
lot of these were basic functionality where the water was running off the side of the gutter, so we put these splash shields, which improved conditions, for the residents. Any other gutter repairs that were outside of that? Most of them were that overflow condition.
A lot of them, yeah.
I think we shouldn't have a ton more, but that's the allocation, that's what we're
I was
proposing.
just concerned, because like I said, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is that up there?
Yeah, usually in the valleys where you get these runoff, like in the new ones, we made a point
Oh,
of
yeah,
trying to make sure
because
that
they
they
pitched the
include.
gutters really badly,
Yep, that's
and
what
they
I'm
never
saying.
repaired that.
So some catch up work we're doing there.
Okay.
Roof repair is next. We had that one. We had some roof repairs also, right? Shingles replacements. We had spot shingle replacements as well.
This one
What is
was,
going on with the shingle replacements? How many of these places are having shingle replacements?
like two.
Two so far. It's not too bad, but relatively speaking, it's a new house. You shouldn't have any.
Mm.
But
Well, didn't
Well, and
they,
that's,
but
and
I've
we're
heard,
talking,
install them.
is this the budget of $6,000 or actually used?
for roof repair, put it up to
8,000.
8,000. We're at 50.
We have used 5,045 so far.
Used to date is 5,500. Our budget for this year is 6,300. So basically one more job will put us at our budget number. And we're in August. So
And that's
they
not
come out
Friday.
typically just showing up as 800. Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I mean, these jobs, all of these different things, it just kind of gets a little frustrating when, where are these people having these, why are these issues happening for a roof that is basically new?
I agree. We shouldn't be having these,
We
defects.
can't speak on behalf of the builder quality. What we do though is any replacement projects as far as the facade paint and the shingle, that's when that is in control of the service area on replacements. And then that is when we act in best interest of the residents and make sure we build or we replace with quality materials that last long to help reduce these expenses.
Yeah, I mean, the
Okay,
good thing
but
is you
here's
don't
my-
have comebacks.
Okay,
Question.
my question to you then is, when we've accepted these places from phase 2, and now we're going to be accountable for anything that goes on, what kind of inspection was done on all of these places?
So
As to the paint that was used, as to the roofing, as to the gutter pitches? What kind of
Our
inspection that we won't run into the same issues there that we are here?
our inspections mainly can go into making sure that the builder followed the scope of the plan set. The scope that was approved for the plan build by the celebration company that Mattamy proposed. Typically, once the celebration company approves those, they have no need to go above and beyond that plan set. So we're checking to make sure that it is done to the scope of the plan set. And if that meant,
That I think was the problem.
yeah, so the quality that's provided in that
It was
is,
shoddy and then take it over.
The face.
So phase 2, we're doing a higher level of quality control. Certain things we have to accept. I mean, paint, they put it in their warranty guide. It's 1 year. It's out of our hands at that point. The gutters, for instance, we're pushing on them for
Very
that.
true, but when, I know for myself,
Mhm.
I pointed out, this is not the right paint, nobody came and fixed it,
Yeah, no paint should be lasting 1 year, 2 years. I mean,
nobody came and fixed it
within the
And-
warranty period, you mean?
within the warranty period. No, it's fine. I mean, I paid for my own, and then this is not even related, I paid for satin paint to be put into my house. It was never done, and I was told that it was. And I went over and went, this is not satin paint. Oh, no, it's just because of the pebbling. So you're lied to and then they don't fix it.
That's why we try to catch them on our inspection. We have long reports and then
Well,
we,
something like that, it wouldn't be,
interiors, we don't do interior.
I know, but like, I'm just
Oh,
making
yeah,
a
it's a
point,
point.
they blow some smoke up your butt too.
Agreed. Agreed.
And now I'm hearing even somebody else in phase two, A, B, I'm not sure which it is. Their floors are messed up like our floors were, and Mattamy is not going to fix it. They said, go get somebody and we'll reimburse you. That's not good. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that is happening. They were buckled because they didn't properly pour the floors, just like they did in our house. And everything had to get ripped up. We had to be inconvenienced. It still isn't well done, but it's better done. And my concern for these people is, and granted, it's not my problem, it's not a service area issue, but this is what
The
Mattamy is doing.
outside stuff is. The outside.
Yeah, no,
stuff is,
no,
and
I was
that's-
just making a point with something else, how Mattamy
Yeah.
tends to neglect their responsibility. All right, but anyway, let's
Yeah, I mean,
proceed.
we try to catch them on the outside as much as possible.
Yes, I know,
on
'cause we
roofing,
had a lot of talk
stucco,
about
we
that.
have- Yeah, tons, so.
And what, I know myself, I appreciate that that's being done.
Yeah, push back with that, and so we got a meeting, so they know what we're looking for, so they're not, hopefully not gonna try to get away with that stuff on the exterior side, whatever we have control of.
Okay. All right, so now pressure washing went up a little bit, cost of living.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, same with
Oh,
fall,
definitely.
that went up a little bit. How come it's not the same amount?
Different school.
One is.
Oh,
just the
okay.
flats,
Oh,
and
that's
the others
right.
are the entire structure.
My mistake.
Mhm.
Okay, better cleaning, we already talked about that. What's with the termite bond? It went up $3,600?
Added phases.
Oh, good reason,
So larger scope, basically increased scope.
okay.
I mean,
All right, this is it looks like there's a plus of 60,000 for total operating. Is that about right?
no, we went from 137 to 161.
I see 197 and
23.
27.
How many more
Oh.
doors does this include though? Because that was a big change on this budget. So if you're looking at the flat dollar amount, you have to keep that in mind that you have more doors. It went up by,
18.
My number of doors.
18.
Oh, really?
as far as for budgetary purposes, we're expecting or this is based on 18.
For 27, even because some of
By the
it
end of
turned
this
over
year.
in 26.
It was about 60,000, but again, the bulk of it, that 48,000, which is the reserve contribution.
Okay,
Yeah, but that's why it makes the operating fund look weird, because like you said, if you go by a dollar amount, you're
Hmm.
gonna see some increases. But
yeah, I was like, ooh, okay. They didn't count for that 48 either.
yeah, that's like how
Okay.
the landscape contract says it's at a 0% increase, but if you look, it's gone up, well, from 25 to 20. Well, I can't see.
Okay. All right, so coupon book, that's $20, that's just cost of living. Mailings is the same. Engineering fees.
Ray
What is
and
the engineering fee? What is that for?
As part of these inspections for our turnovers,
Yes.
so we have them involved in the process.
Are they still typically having to visit the home more than once?
No, these guys are efficient than you guys, and we
Right.
can trim the scope. They don't envision themselves spending more than a few hours per home. Especially if we get a few at a time, they could bang it out one day.
Yeah, because I remember last time it was, they didn't pass, they had to come back, then we had to pay again.
so, yeah, that was a big change. We've changed our primary in engineering firm for all projects
Okay, good.
from Karen's Engineering. We're using Colligbert, who was our project, or
Right.
our owner's rep and our firm for this building.
Mhm.
And on their, as far as Collick's bill, we're still under on this, and they've extended services through warranty. So that's their estimate based on what we expect the turnover to be. Mattamy's sort of the forecasting on the amount of more buildings is really rough right now because
Yeah.
they're not seeing the sales they were, so they've slowed down on building. So I mean, it is a large number, but it's looking like we won't spend all of that engineering for a couple of reasons, as Alex mentioned. One, the cost per building, we expect to be drastically lower. And two, I don't think we're gonna have as many building turnovers as we initially anticipated.
Okay, so this is basically the buildings that are finished and we're awaiting for engineering.
Mhm. And we only get to know when, so that's, every unit has to be sold inside that unit,
Right.
inside that building. And then Mattamy, it's still up to them to reach out to us to say they want to turn that building over. So
Okay.
the, like we had Estuary Loop example, I mean, that one sat forever,
Like they did with ours, to turn it over?
sometimes, and sometimes not.
Oh, okay, it's random.
It's, yeah, it's up to their business model, and we have not been able to get a clear forecasting. I don't think they have a clear forecasting on when that is. Yeah.
All right, so that's reasonable considering the amount of doors that's gonna get turned over.
Mhm. And that's the whole, like I said, how do we know, are we doing the inspections? Are we getting to make sure the buildings are the right quality as far as the best they can be?
Repetitive. Like they were with those other, models.
Yeah, we also saw a lot of engineering costs or commute. They charged drive time to get here and to drive back. And then this firm is based in Disney property on Lake Buena Vista. So they're here and they typically, if they're, once they start their workday inside the Orlando area, they do not bill mileage
That's a little
between properties
savings,
like
but
that. So, you know, I mean, it's good, that's significant from what we would see before, just on those types of mileage and time expenses from the last engineering firm for
Okay.
this one.
So it's basically just the increase in doors.
Mhm.
Fair enough. Professional fees, we're good. Flat, legal fees, flat. Admin fee.
So the admin fee is, I know, this was discussed last year as well, prior,
Mhm.
so the admin fee is made up of a collection of the CROA administrative costs. To run CROA, that includes staffing. Last year, there was a time study done and it allotted a small percentage of my time, and even smaller percentage of Lauren's time. A fair percentage of Ray's time because of the 14 different service areas and the monthly reports for the 14 accounts. 100% of the Lisa's time and 100% of Alex's time. And so any expenses that CROA incurs for that percentage of those employees is then pulled out of the CROA and creates a flat number. That flat number is then divided equally between every single door in the service
All
area.
right, so these fees include salaries, benefits, supplies.
Yes.
So what increase was that looking at? No offense, sorry, I know it's rude to ask. What percentage increase did you guys get this year? Salary wise?
They do not have to answer that question.
No, I know that,
Mhm.
but in the range of 5%, in the range of 10%.
I would say they did, that's not a question that they have to
Okay.
answer. That would be something that you could, I mean, this is in
I can send
connection
in a
with the
FOIL
CROA
request for it?
board. No, because that's tied to the management contract.
Okay, and you don't feel that the people who are paying the bill are entitled to have a vague idea of it?
That information can be seen when the positions are posted publicly.
Are
Uh,
they still posted publicly, so I can look it up on the internet?
No, just when job postings are made.
So I would never be able to see what kind of increases anybody gets.
No,
But I
you
know
can see
like
the
on average, people get 3 to 4%.
You can see what in
This is
the
a little bit
CROA,
more than 3 to 4%.
you can see what in the CROA budget line, the increase on compensation looks like as
For the
far as. a
entire-
plan. Yes,
Okay, here's
Okay.
a question for you. We're getting double dipped with the CROA administrative fees.
no,
Yeah, we are,
no,
because we also have
because
to pay, we have to pay our quarterly with CROA, as
Yes.
well as
your,
the service areas.
so your quarterlies
So-
pays for anything in the 99 parks, the 6 pools, the playgrounds, and the events. CROA's bill does not cover any expenses that are incurred by the service areas, by the townhomes. And that includes any staffing time that is spent on those townhomes.
Okay. It seems a little double dipping here. But go ahead.
This admin fees are just for anything specifically relating to town homes, not
It
in
seems very
general.
high. It seems
I agree.
extremely high for
I
the
agree.
townhomes. For just, and here's my issue. This is just Island Village.
So that-
Every service area, 14 service areas are a part of this. Right? Every service area has to do the Crow administrative fee, correct?
Yes, at an equal amount
And
per door.
each village would be a different amount because they're bigger or smaller than each other.
The amount by the supplemental declaration to the charter states that it has to be a equal split per door. So what
Between
you
each
pay,
service area. Okay.
whatever the administrative calculation is for your individual unit is the exact administrative fee
For
that
someone who's
every
smaller. No,
unit in the smaller.
I was
ones
just
are.
curious
Yeah.
on that one.
So it's scaled by the amount of units in the service area.
So every service area is according to the number of units,
Correct.
doors, the number of doors. It has nothing to do with the size of the units, just the number of doors, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's an awful big chunk.
But what kind of increase is that talking there? $8,000 increase?
Doors.
But we don't have very many doors more yet. How do you?
You had
what are we
18 more doors?
changing?
18 more doors from last year to this year.
Okay. Clear.
Okay, well, because I gotta get moving here.
Okay, we'll move along. All right, so I guess it is what it is.
Well, that's become the point of this whole thing. We're here, but we're a joke because they're gonna put the 19% anyway, or basically 20% increase. We don't have a say in how that actually gets done. It's just done because these are the.
Very
the
true.
numbers. So, I mean, we're just looking at it basically and saying, oh, okay, that's what's happening.
Basically,
It's just,
but if the guy, I mean, if they said, oh, we're gonna do the budget, come on, let's have a meeting and let's discuss this, it goes, it would take forever. So the people who have the knowledge make
No, I
a
get it, but
professional.
I want to make sure
choice on
also, here's the thing, that they're getting, like we've had with our pressure washing, some companies are better than others. Are they really looking into getting the right people for the job?
Why you feel that we should be part of the RFP process in that?
I don't know. I'm just, I guess I'm just very frustrated with, again, the amount of time that I've lived here in this townhome in Celebration, I've had a yearly increase of basically the last 3 years has been, they want 20%. And then CROA wants, the main board wants 20%. Everybody
Yeah, our
wants all this big
expenses-
money.
Yeah, no, basically our expenses from when you and I moved in have increased 50%. And we have to consider getting another job to help pay for our expenses. But that's the deal when you move here.
So as a committee, you do have the opportunity to have a committee consensus and provide any recommendations for your 2027 budget to the board when management makes their proposal. So if you had a stark difference, and I know you don't have a quorum today and you can continue to, discuss this with your committee and anything that comes to a consensus, whether that be to change any of these lines in any amount can be provided by the committee, whether that's increasing one line or another, or an amount higher or lower. And we carry those to the board and we give both the management proposal and any recommendations from the committee to the board, and then it is the board's then left to the board's decision for those. On a benchmarking perspective, I know that CROA has looked at if they had followed a CPI over the past 10 years, they'd actually be at a higher increase than what they're looking at with next year's budget. So we're seeing that some dues were artificially kept low in the late 2010s. That is now causing these types of repercussions.
Yeah, we're
Um,
all too aware.
yeah, I mean, I know
And
this.
also too, when we moved in, the reserve study, it should have, it wasn't the right one.
Yeah, you didn't have one, I remember.
We
So
didn't
it
have
was
it,
pulling
and
a
it was based
contribution
on a
level
community that
based
was
off of a different established.
Right. So it should have been higher to start with, unfortunately. It's just
Mhm.
like anything. It's like you buy something and 6 months later, well, why is it 50% more? And I just bought it 6 months ago. Well, it was at the wrong price at the time. It's just, it hits you. It hits your soul in your pocketbook when you're not looking forward to it.
I know this doesn't help your situation, but just for knowledge sake, I'm benchmarking out of the 14 service areas in Celebration, excluding one that doesn't have reserves because they're just a landscaping service area. There are 2 service areas that are looking at a monthly assessment under $400 next year. There are,
Are they very tiny?
you're one of them, and then there's another one.
Okay.
And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 14 service areas that are over 500, and most of all of those are over 550 a month.
And that's why the reserve needs a little push to get us up to
Yeah.
where,
No, so.
because we get it. It's just, it's a hard pill. to
Oh, I'm
swallow.
not, yeah, no, I know, and that's what I understand, 20% year after year, I fully can,
It's a hard pill.
understand that's
You know,
hard.
oil goes up and this goes up and everything goes up 20%.
Yeah.
And, like, you feel like, and this has nothing to do with us, but you feel
My
like,
income
why,
isn't going up 20%.
That's where it becomes
like, why is
difficult,
my
yes.
percentage going up fixing something that's in what I call old Celebration? Like, we weren't here then,
Mhm.
so why am I paying for it? But it's because it's a community and everybody pays their share of everything. Like I said, it's just sometimes a hard pill to swallow.
I think it's going to be, I mean, with these additional doors and if more doors come online, you're reaching a better contribution level to your
That's what we're
reserves. This one is a substantial, adjustment to your contribution level, to your allocation to your reserves, which, I mean, does put you in a much better position as far as it comes to future assessment
So
rates.
hopefully it won't be 20%, it might be 15.
Yeah, right now, it's just when you see a jarring deficit from where the anticipated balance is at the end of the year and where you are, it has to be addressed in these uncomfortable level increases
It's now or
to
later.
best avoid a special assessment, which special assessments also incur heavy fees just to run the assessment, which is just straight money lost. Plus that uncomfortable, high bill that needs paid in 6 months with 2 payments.
Oh,
That's what most of them are.
And that's what exactly we were trying to avoid when we had a giant irrigation,
Mhm, mhm.
so. Okay, so. What else do we need? I just have a question about this on the reserve over here, shutters, who's got shutters?
Shutters at all?
No. I didn't see any, only on homes.
That's positive. I mean, that'll help you reserve pool in general. I mean,
It's weird that would be on there though.
unless it's
Yeah, that's why
based on
it says
reserve study.
108 pairs, I don't see it.
It's beneficial. I mean, that'll help towards the paint project, I guess.
Hmm.
Typically, it's a good line that's held. And so in that sense of if a paint project comes and you're funded for shutters in that same year and it's $25,000, your paint project, you ends up not spending that $25,000.
It would go.
Then when we look at this number at the end of the year, where your reserves is and where it should be, well, now you're $25,000 closer to where it should be. And that
Same
helps.
deficit, basically.
I'm just wondering why it's on there. Why even think about it?
So next year we have a new reserve study, so that'll be a comment we put, say, we don't have shutters. So that'll get reallocated, go towards our bottom
Well,
line.
can we, I mean, I'll be willing to go take a drive with you, or walk around and see. If there's no shutters, I mean, there's no
Oh,
shutters.
there's a lot of shutters on Island Village Way. Those units.
There might be
Oh, okay.
shutters.
That's a lot of shutters.
That's a lot of shutters.
There might be on
That's
some
another
other
thing,
places.
like, then why aren't they paying a little bit more? But it's equal and fair.
Then you have 2-car garage versus 1-car garage, apartment garage.
Nobody's got
apartment
one car
garage.
garages.
No, they're all twos, yeah.
Yeah, no one's got one. All right,
Yeah, they put all the shutters in one spot, I guess.
from there,
It's
take them
funny.
down.
I just,
We
That
don't
was
need
funny.
shutters, you don't need
I was
shutters.
gonna start one review and
I think the reality is when it comes to paint, we'll look at them and evaluate as needed, we'll replace them. Otherwise, that's $50-something thousand that is somewhat padding.
Right, so we just need to take a quick look at those things.
They shouldn't need replacement. I wouldn't think after.
Oh, no,
you have some service areas that are still not doing.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to be done if they don't need to
No,
be
agreed.
done.
Gutters, soffits, and
I'd rather,
shutters. are
You know,
very
I don't wanna give you the money, no offense, and you know I love y'all, but.
They'll just get reallocated.
Gotcha. But, yeah, if they don't have to get done. I'm willing to take a shot for 1 year and put it into the reserve.
Hmm.
But not for every single year from time until the day that I leave this earth. Cause I can't afford to go anywhere else.
You can write that whole stretch on Boulevard, not
And
a
I,
single shutter
I
on it.
went down and I'm like, I see no shutters, what are you talking about?
Not a single. Now, there's a couple on Coastal on the first floors, but then most of those buildings on Island Village Way have
Okay, I go around with the nail
One,
gun
two,
and I'm
three,
taking
four,
them all.
five,
Up on the
six,
side,
seven,
I think
eight,
it's on the
nine.
third. They have that.
Come
fake
on, Sue,
window.
let's go take all the shutters off. They don't need them.
They got
They don't operate.
They're trying to do that paint.
It's a fake
That's-
window.
They didn't paint
Oh.
it.
It's a
Imagine.
fake window.
It's a 60%.
one has some of the units have 20 shutters.
One house. Good condition.
The nerve, the things they didn't know when they bought that
I
unit,
have
right?
an ugly color on my house and they get shutters. Where's the justice? Oh, speaking of which, just out of curiosity, when we do the paint, do we have any say in the color or is it just status quo? It is what it is.
It's- You can,
Oh, yeah,
as
everyone to
it would
agree.
need to be, it's best to have everyone in the building agree. Have the committee review it, it still has to remain in the palette and, then it still has to be submitted as an ARC to the ARC committee to review.
So
And
the
they,
committee would have to just go get everybody's idea and just say, hey, cause I was concerned, I remember when we bought ours, I was like, oh, look what a beautiful shade of blue it is. I'm so happy with that. And I come home to baby poop beige.
Roosevelt changed colors on a few buildings, didn't they?
And
Yeah,
the
so I
reason
mean,
I
it's
told
happened,
is
it
like,
has happened.
oh, because it's Craftsman.
So like that, so because it's Craftsman though, does limit those colors to
Yes.
the Craftsman color palette.
So how do we get the palette? Just,
It's in the pattern book on the website.
okay.
Under ARC.
ARC.
You're starting now, that's fair.
Yes.
Start now,
Yeah, no,
get your whole
no.
building to.
Time enough, especially by us, there's a lot of people who are not full-time residents. So it takes time to get hold of these people.
Yeah, I mean, it's best to have that full. It doesn't necessarily have to, but then again, it's the opposite. If they're not full-time, you come back and maybe they loved the
Yeah.
paper bag color. And they don't want it to be they don't want it to be blue and they come back and their house is blue.
They'll be unhappy and I'll be happy.
Yeah,
You're gonna have 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did we miss? What else do we have to go over?
That's it. I think we covered all our line items.
Mhm.
So they
Or
have
do it
also when to present their recommendation as.
Well, I'm okay with this, but we
it
have.
would be
three
best to
other
have
people
any
doing it.
input provided to management by end of day this Thursday, as we are finalizing the proposed budgets to put in the board packet that goes to the board this Friday.
Yes, I saw in the
Mhm.
email that you sent. So,
Okay, all right. I gotta get moving here.
Okay, are you okay with this as it stands?
I don't have a choice.
I agree. So I'm okay with it too, so you just have to wait for the other three. If they so choose to contact you. Otherwise, will it just go forward as it stands? Okay.
Thank you, Sue, for joining. And
Okay.
thank you, Lydia.
See you when you get home.
All right, talk to you. Bye.
Have a good day.